lawyer, excuse me, and a boxer in training. However, there happen to be just a few biscuits left in the kitchen, just in case you're...
I'm not hungry, thanks.
We are, however, interested in that certain attorney and that prize fighter, shall we? Hey, how you doing? Guys, we ready? Hey, you couldn't keep me away.
Neither one of us.
What's going on?
They're going to be on television today.
You're kidding. Before or after they devour this feast?
We have plenty of time to devour, and I went on till the noonday show.
You mean you're not kidding?
Jack Collins wants to do a story on the Sports Center and interview Johnny.
Yeah, and Brian and Joe are going to get interviewed, too.
I don't get it.
Publicity.
I realize that, but with all the trouble that's been coming down, why look for publicity now?
Well, right now, it's even more important than ever.
I still don't get it.
Unfortunately, I do.
I'm going to use this television show, Rose, to get whoever murdered Peggy.
Good morning, darling.
Morning, darling.
Why are you pacing?
Breaking in new shoes.
Oh, they're lovely.
Thanks.
Where's Robert?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be breaking in the new shoes.
I thought the two of you were supposed to meet the ambassador this morning.
Yeah, we are. We are. At the museum, right after 10, when it opens.
Well, then he'll probably be here. Of course, he's probably still over at the coffee shop, though, with Jackie. Sitting at the antique store.
Which is another reason I'm walking off these new shoes.
You really think Laura's held captive there?
Darling, I don't know, but what I do know is that whatever is going on makes it all the more important for us to get to that ambassador soon, this morning, right now.
Well, reasons or not, darling, I don't think pacing's going to help.
I told you I'm breaking in new shoes. Robert?
How did you know that?
Been meditating on it.
And you probably know that I'm still at this coffee shop staking out an antique store.
Have you spotted Laura yet?
Oh, what do you think?
Oh, that figures. Okay, man, the only thing left to do is we gotta hightail it over to the museum right away.
Look, I can't leave Jackie here, and she's not going to move until her sister comes out.
Oh. I tell you what if our most beautiful, glamorous, and talented friend, Miss Tiffany Hill, relieved you and took over that obligation while we met with the ambassador?
What a great suggestion. Not that this visual makes sense anyway.
I know what you mean. Laura could be long gone by now out the back exit. I'll talk to you later. Okay, Tiff. Do you mind?
Of course not. But I don't think it makes any sense.
It makes a lot of sense, baby. According to Robert, Jackie is not going to budge until she's sure that Laura is not in the antique shop.
Good morning, Laura.
Already?
For hours and hours now. You must have had a nice sleep.
Actually, it was lousy.
Oh, too bad.
Too bad. I tell you what's too bad is that I had to stay in this place in the first place. When can I go back to the yacht?
That's not my decision.
Well, then, never mind.
Mr. Gray is in the front room.
The museum opens soon. And then what? I'll confirm whether Laura's information is right.
If Scorpio and Spencer convince the ambassador to close the exhibit early, I don't know how I can move up our timetable.
You'll have to handle that.
David, all I can do is try.
It's not good enough.
What about Laura?
That depends entirely on her friends. Scorpio and Spencer? And a little talk they may or may not have with the ambassador of Malkuth today.
Violence around here has got to stop. And the TV show is the perfect opportunity to take the matter into our own hands.
Now you're convinced this is the right thing to do?
I wasn't before. Something happened yesterday that Jess convinced me.
I have not mentioned that to anybody.
And if I may, Lesley.
Sure. I think it's good for people to know.
Someone broke into the clinic and mugged Lesley.
What?
Lesley, are you all right?
Oh, yeah. Physically, I'm fine.
This guy, I don't know. I think he had like a stocking over his face, maybe. He just, he grabbed me from behind and he tied me, where he taped me to a chair and he put a gag in my mouth. And I stayed there until Joe came and cut me free. Emotionally, it's a little harder to deal with.
You will. I'm glad you're okay. We're with you all the way.
Yes, all of us. I know that, and I love you for it. But the important thing is I don't want it to happen to anybody else.
Which is what makes the plan for the television show even more important.
And you said you're going after Packy's murderer?
The violence began with Packy. And we have to start looking there to find out who's behind it.
And why?
Well, my theory is that it has to do with Packy's warning to Johnny to get out of fighting.
That's our only real clue so far.
He had that same warning 2 years ago, Joe. A supposed heart attack and getting you out of the fight business then.
So somebody was trying to stop me from fighting then, too.
Well, my thought is that Packy found out who that someone was and why and how that heart attack could apparently take place.
And that's why he was warning me.
I think someone is after you, John, that same person.
But how does this relate to all the break-ins?
Rosa, I think that's one area I'm not quite sure.
I do have a theory. It's starting to look like somebody's searching for something.
Or
What it is, why? Now you got me.
Yeah, but it could still be just a basic overall plan of frightening us.
Well, they certainly succeeded in frightening me. Let me get you a cup of tea. That's a good idea. I will come with you. I don't want to listen anymore.
All right, my plan is to get on that show and imply that I know who is behind all of this. Who's responsible for Packy.
Yeah, I think this might flush him out.
It might. Then again, you might still be taking a big chance.
Yeah.
You have a better plan?
I'll tell you the truth, Rose. This whole thing has me plain scared to death.
Robert, I am really scared.
Look, you've been up all night. You're tired, you're worried.
And I'm scared.
Maybe a bit of sleep would take the edge off it, huh?
I've told you before, and I'll tell you again, I'm not going to leave here until I know she's safe.
Oh, good morning.
Oh, God, you look terrible.
Tiff, I don't think that's what she wanted to hear.
I was only trying to be friendly, darling.
Oh, all right. I mean, with friends like that, who needs...
Our company keeping watch, darling, I believe Jackie. And I'm more than happy to oblige you, darling.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Don't worry, honey. I'm sure Laura's fine.
Yeah, if only I could believe that.
Believe it. I'm taking full responsibility. I'm the guy that fed her the information that goes to Gray. Trust me, okay? Just trust me.
We all agree.
Look, it was a good idea. We know the only way to help Laura is to make Gray move up his heist plans.
That's right. So we're going to be there. We're going to trap him in the act. Of course, then we will force him to deprogram your sister.
Unfortunately, none of us thought he'd keep her captive.
Well, he's not going to keep her long. Once he knows that the information we gave her is correct, he'll let her go.
When? I've been waiting here all night.
Well, then you're going to have to wait just a little bit longer because Robert and I have to meet with the ambassador and make sure that he closes the exhibit and give Gray one hell of a show.
I hope we have our lizard dancing act intact.
Whatever it takes, pal, whatever it takes. As long as Gray believes that Laura's information is correct, the ambassador will really close down that exhibit.
We're not really closing the exhibit early.
Of course not.
All that matters is that David Gray thinks we are.
But and then what?
Then he'll let your sister go.
As if it works.
It's going to work. It's our only chance. Trust me. Okay?
No.
Then trust me. Does anybody have the time?
It's 5 or 10, darling.
All right. The museum opens at 10.
Hey, check this out.
What? Well, good. Everything seems to be moving along.
When that museum door opens, Gray's going to be the first person in line.
Let's get going, Robert. We want to be second.
Yeah, thanks, Rosa.
You're welcome.
Also.
are you really all right? Well, the truth is I'm confused. I think that's only natural. See, on the one hand, I feel... Now, this is going to sound dumb, okay? I feel invaded. I know nobody hurt me, but I can't help it. I still feel invaded. It makes me feel vulnerable. I feel like all I want to do, really, is just go someplace and hide. If that's on the one hand, what are you feeling on the other? Angry? I mean, furious. And that's when I know that Rick is right, and we cannot just sit by and let this keep happening. We have got to fight back. Maybe this TV show is the answer. Well, I suppose it certainly could be. It led us to whatever was behind all this violence. But you're not entirely convinced? No, I'm really not. Unfortunately, Rick is, and once he's made up his mind, boy, oh boy, look out. All I can do is hang on and hope for the best. Let's not talk about this anymore. It's a deal, if that's what you want. I do. I think we should go over and talk to the television stars. What's this? Who? What? Hi. Television stars?
Yeah, what's going on?
Rick and Johnny and Joe and Brian are going to be on the noontime show today.
That's a good thing. We have our day off. We can see it.
Well, why don't you just stay here and watch it with us?
We'll make a party out of it.
Oh, good, a party. That's what I need.
Yeah.
Party. I'm convinced.
Sure changed your mind about our picnic.
Oh, that's good. Got to get your mind off your troubles. A party will do that.
Good. Anything new? You put this all together. Packy's murder. The arson attempt at the sports center.
The break-in at my place.
The break-in at your place.
And then what happened yesterday with Lesley.
I'd say, yeah, somebody's definitely trying to tell us something.
Yeah, pack up and get out. That's what they're saying.
Well, we sure know they don't want me to fight.
Johnny, I've been thinking it might be a lot more than that. Not just fighting. It might be getting the sports center out of down here. Might even be closing the doors of the clinic.
No,
We can't let that happen.
Not
Of course we're not going to let that happen. We're going to fight. But the way we got to start is to find out the truth about Packy.
We got to get, information on what he was on to before he got killed.
I think we'll find that out as soon as we get the killer to the surface.
I gotta say it again. You are playing with fire.
Joe, it's the only game in town. And I still need your support.
Of course I'm behind you.
You got it. We both are. I need your support, too.
Oh, sure, hon. Just as long as you don't go too far. If I lost you, I don't think I could go on.
Oh, wait.
No, I've never seen Rick look so determined.
Well, it's a look I've come to know well over the years. Luke, how is he these days? Haven't heard from him. Uh-oh. Yeah, you know. Means he's up to no good, right?
Where is he?
The ambassador?
No, not the ambassador. Gray.
Didn't you see him?
Where?
He's out in the corridor, ducked into the Egyptian room.
Talking to the ambassador will do us no good at all unless Gray's there to see the show.
He'll be back.
Well, he better be. I get very nervous when I don't see him, Robert. Where is Tabriz?
I told Forbes we'd meet him down here.
In the exhibit room?
Exactly.
So, Gray is going to see him approaching in the corridor, yeah?
He'd better.
So, it's making you a little nervous too, huh?
A little? Maybe a lot. It's one thing to reassure the child out there, but everything's on the wire right now.
We've done it before, baby. We can do it again.
I know, but never with Gray actually watching. Through sight alone, we have to convince him the ambassador is going to close the exhibit early.
I know, but there's only one problem.
Only one?
Mm-hmm. What are we going to chat with the ambassador about while we're putting on the charade?
Hey, I'm in charge of security. Thou is in charge of mine.
Okay. Thank you so much, pal. Thank you.
Your audience has just arrived.
The ambassador?
Mm-mm. Big, tall guy. Dark hair, piercing eyes with a rather aged leather jacket is observing us as we speak.
David Gray.
Make way, sports fans. Wardrobe coming through.
Hey! Hey, what do you think?
I think that's just what the doctor ordered, Dr. Phillips. Thank you.
Well, I was not named sports administrator for nothing. I also got one for you, Joe, and Johnny.
I hope you got one for yourself. As you say, you are the administrator.
Well, I'm really planning to talk up about the center on the show, and, well, I hope I can get some donations because of it.
Brian, I've decided to go on the show myself. I think there are a few facts that the public has to be made aware of.
About Patrick.
You read minds, kid?
No, that's Luke's trick. I just read situations.
That brings us back to the situation we were discussing. Johnny, can you connect anyone you may have seen, say at the sports center, at your exhibition fight, or even just down here on the waterfront in general, to anyone who may have been at your fight 2 years ago?
No, I'm sorry, Rick.
What about someone like that bookie, Anthony Hand?
Yeah.
No.
Hey, then take your time.
Well, I certainly hope nobody else in town needs anything to wear.
Well, I certainly don't.
It's really because Susan and I just brought out everything there is at Delphina's.
Now, what's the occasion?
And Alice and I are going on a fabulous, glamorous cruise.
Oh.
That is, and it's still all right with you. Now, you sure it's okay if I go?
Alice.
I mean,
We do this every day. Alice, watch my lips. It's fine with me.
Well, I first. You know what I did? I bought the first bathing suit I've had in years.
Oh, Jeannie, I
See it.
hope. You are going to show it to us.
Ignore him. Ignore him. Tasteless. You're going to have a terrific time.
Well, thanks to you, Dr. Rivers, let me go on such short notice.
Alice, do you know what I realized this morning? How much you deserve it. Remember the time you went to see your grandson in Carson City? That's the last time you took more than a weekend off. Oh! Come here. Excuse us a second. I don't want Susan to hear this yet. The babysitter, you know, that you set for the baby, called and wants you to call her back.
Hey, what's all the excitement about?
What's with the TV?
Hi there, about the noontime show?
No. Well, it seems that some of our boys in the waterfront are going to be television stars.
That's right. So stick around, everybody, because in honor of the occasion, I've decided to give everybody a free hot dog if you buy a beer.
Yeah.
All right, Rose.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Lesley just told me that the nurse that I talked about babysitting can't work nights.
No. Oh, Aunt Alice, we can't even consider going on a cruise if we can't leave Jason with excellent people.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Hey,
I'm not really sure
Rube,
what we're going to do.
what do you think? Do you think Luke's going to watch me on the tube today?
I don't know, darling. I hope so.
Waiting's driving me crazy, man. I can't take it.
See what this is all about.
A message from Mr. Forbes, sir. He said to say the ambassador's on his way down.
Terrific.
Well, there's some...
A problem? What's happening?
Well, actually, now that you mention it, there's a tall guy in the corridor who's been asking if the exhibit's closing early. Know anything about it?
Probably just a malicious rumor.
Exactly what I said.
Thank you. All right, cue the orchestra. Here comes the first.
Scorpio.
Away, Marcel, my sir.
I'm running a little short of time today, unfortunately.
Ah, well, look, I'll pass on the introductions then. Look, you already know Marcel, Luke Spencer
Of
here.
course, always a pleasure to see you, Mr. Spencer.
My pleasure, sir, my pleasure.
Good. Look, excuse me for a moment. Everybody, please move into the corridor for a moment. There's a security problem here. This won't take very long. If you'll just bear with me, we'll reopen this exhibit.
I don't quite understand. What is going on?
I'll
Why
tell you
these
exactly
people
what
leaving?
it is, sir.
Mr. Scorpio?
No, sir.
What?
It has to do with the exhibit itself. It has to do with bringing in more people. There seems to be a problem.
A problem? You mean with the treasures of my country?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, that's not very good. This is an urgent matter, sir.
I understand that. The problem is, where is the national bird?
I'm sorry. What did you say?
The Malkuthian national bird?
Yes?
There aren't any birds here. There isn't even a stuffed bird here. What do you have, like a strike on taxidermy in your country or
What is he
something?
talking about?
A national bird, a Malkuthian national bird, pal. Look, I mean, you've got a beautiful helmet. You
Well,
got
of
this
course
great
we have-
sword. You got this thing here that's worth what? Pal, kaput. The whole thing is over. We have no national bird. People are into national birds.
Look, Mr. Spencer.
And what about the Malkuthian national flower?
The what?
Why doesn't this room smell like the Malkuthian? Exactly my point. Every country in the world has a national bird and a national flower. Now, what is wrong with Malkuth? Sir, it's going to take a national bird and a national flower to bring the people in. You know, the press really like that
Yes,
kind
like
of
you're a
thing.
man.
Now, we're going to have a bird. We're going to have a flower. I mean, the rest of the stuff is great, but promise me, bring us a bird and a flower, please. Okay? Really.
I think you've convinced me. Very good. So Laura was right.
You really think he bought that?
It was an outrageous performance. If you didn't, he's a better man than I.
General Hospital will continue in a moment.